This video is called My Mood, M-O-O-D. This is a harmonica, this is a microphone. But before you deal with either of these two in a given session, you want to take a look at your mood. What is the proper mood for a musician when approaching music on chromatic harmonica? Well, given that the most important part of your instrument isn't the mic and isn't the harmonica, but is you, we have to ask, what can you say about you before you play? You can say several things. Number one, you don't want to approach your sessions angry or upset. That's not a good space to be playing music. And you don't want to pattern yourself. Patterning means doing something over and over again and it becomes a habit. You don't want to pattern yourself with anger with music. So what can we say about what the state of mind should be? Relaxed, calm, in touch with yourself and how you feel, expectant, happy, think about hunting for something beautiful. Now, this relative calm can be disrupted when we play in a way that we are not happy with. I want to tell you that most of the time people out there don't know your audience, whoever the audience is. They don't know whether you're happy with it or not, unless you tell them. I've had times where I played and I thought I didn't do well, but other people thought it was perfect, loved it. And times where I thought it was great and I didn't have people say I thought it was the best you ever played. We're our own worst critic by far. The attitude starts to fall when we become critical of our performance or critical of our practice. Oh, I should be able to do that, run faster than this. I've played it 7 times, and you become impatient, you become angry at yourself. This is not going to help you. This is not going to help you with your music. And so I would say be accepting of your errors, and you'll find that this instrument, the chromatic harmonica, is like a mind-body thing, because this time comes when it clicks and you can do various things. And you just be patient in that process. You try something, let it go, come back, try it a little bit more. You'll find within a few days or a week you actually have that skill without beating yourself up. You never want to take your training sessions down emotionally where you quit when you're angry or you're frustrated. You want to do just the opposite. You want to build yourself up. In other words, stop on a good note. That means play something you can handle or that you are pleased with. Always end your practices on a good note. I learned this when I worked with horses years ago, training them. And if the horse went back to the stable happy, it got brushed and got some grass and the request in the training was reasonable and fair, the horse came out really looking forward to the next day's practice. But if you get frustrated and you put the horse away frustrated, they are not so happy to see you, and you're the same way. You want to manage your emotions in such a way where you're constantly more confident, more happy, more pleased, just feeling good about music. That is a reality in the same way that the notes you play are. So don't allow yourself to criticize yourself a lot. We're critical because our parents criticize us or others or teachers. Just set all that aside. You can play this game any way you want in music and be very, very supportive of yourself. The other thing is that the chromatic harmonic is kind of interesting because this magic button here, all you have to do if you don't like the note you're on is press it in or let it go, because it'll move you a half tone. And if you're doing an improvisation and you're not happy, you'll change it. And don't get too worried about playing just the right notes unless you're a classical player with concert. There's very few of those in the world. Come on, with 5 maybe. So the vast majority of players aren't playing with an orchestra. And so, it's not a big problem if you hit hit a note that's not what you think is right. But I would say I don't believe in wrong notes with improvs, because you can make anything sound good. And that's what Miles Davis said. He said there are no wrong notes if you know how to manage them. There's a lot of truth in that. So anyway, hopefully, what I'm talking about now is your arc of feelings over time. Try to leave on a happy note. And a lot of times when I'm playing, if I try something and it really goes well, and I've been practicing for half an hour, I'll just quit and I'll say, I'm quitting while I'm ahead. I'm going to end on a positive note. So, but a lot of players, they'll do pretty well, and then they start going downhill in that practice, and they'll keep on going until they get mad and they quit. You don't want to do that. So keep it positive, keep it supportive, and understand that music is liquid emotion, and you're the machine that makes the music.